Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. Wow, what was that? I was just about to do, because when you weren't sitting there, I was just about to say, where in the world is Margarita? Because Margarita's traveling. She's traveled. She's stationary for a little bit. But good morning, everyone. I'm sorry, fiddling with my microphone. I didn't put it in. There we go.
Good morning, Milagros. Buenos días, Kathy.
Yes, Kathy Ruiz. I saw her pop up first. Milagros right behind. Tiffany Bryan. Those have become our threesome right there. So thank you. That is beautiful. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. Today's topic is going to be fabulous, expanded consciousness, and we're going to talk about it's a part 1 and part 2. I know I got to stop fiddling with what I'm doing. And we're going to have a guest on Thursday talking more about expanded consciousness. So this is good, folks. Share. I am Lori Monaco, the Badass Buddha. I hail from and currently broadcast from Southern Connecticut. It is cold this morning, but it is supposed to be 60 degrees. So I am ready. It is sunny. I cannot wait. It's been a long time coming. We had snow over the weekend, and thank goodness it's already melted. That's what I'm talking about. That works for me. So what am I? My business is Align Yourself Inc. So what I am is a chiropractor by trade. I am also a coach, a teacher, and a speaker specializing in mindfulness practice, narcissistic relationships, toxic relationships. And I work with women who have gone through those things or are also dealing with depression and anxiety. And I help them become the badasses in their lives, the warriors in their lives. I teach warrior mindfulness classes. And I also teach workshops to anyone and everyone, corporate, healthcare, educators, administrators. And my workshops are fun and lively, and I do speaking gigs, and I'm a published author. Oh my goodness, I'm so much today. I'm wasting time here so that Gladiator Guru could get her coffee. We both got hit this morning with that time change. I wasn't so bad Saturday. I wasn't so bad yesterday, but today, for some odd reason, I just couldn't get up. So if anybody else is having trouble with that time change, let us know in the comments, and then also let us know if you want to see that time change go, because that seems to be the continued conversation. Do we even need the time change anymore? And if we do change it, or if we do not change it any longer, what do we stay at? I'm good with the fall behind, but I do like my nights. I like my nights lighter. So anyway, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We said Milagros, Kathy Ruiz, Tiffany, Melissa, Hernandez, Moran, Arica Bolahala in the house. Good morning. And Tata Rodriguez, good morning. So, all right, I've stalled as long as I can. All right, you know what? Here's what I'll do before she comes on. Just a reminder that we have our book signing this Thursday. So if you are in the Bridgeport area, we would love to see you. It is 6 to 8 on our sheet, but we're shooting more for like 5:30 to 7:30. But because the thing ends hard end, we have to be out of the place by 8, broken down. Tickets are available. It's been a little challenging for some people to get a ticket, but I think we fixed the problem. So just go onto the Viva posts and you should see the Venmo. But definitely come on. We have a few seats left. Okay, it's limited seating, but we're going to be giving away prizes. We have refreshments. We're giving away books. And if you already purchased the book, come anyway. And then you can gift the book to somebody. How's that? We could autograph it to the person that you want to gift it to, or just autograph it in general. Gladiator Guru.
Ta-da! Buenos días, mi gente, aquí con la Margarita. I love that when as soon as we log in, there are humans. It's so exciting. So thank you, everybody. Erika, Tata, Melissa, Tiffany, Kathy, Milagros for coming in, because you know what? It's just, that's awesome. Yes, we did. She said she had problems waking up. I had problems going to sleep. I was going to text her at 2:30 in the morning. Talk about, I can't go to sleep, and I wanted to. I'm making tea. chai spiced tea at 2:15 in the morning. And finally, I just said, you know what? I started fantasizing, having sexual fantasies in my mind, and that put me right to sleep. So that's my magic.
All right. That sounds great. All right. Well, who are you? How about that?
um, who am I? Soy la maravillosa Margarita. Esa es la que soy. Sacred healer, spiritual coach. I am your poet, your writer, your author. I am your artist. I am a proud Latina coffee roaster, naturally orgasmic. I'm a mother, a grandmother. I am a little bit of everything and a lot of others. So welcome and thank you for being on Viva Cafe con Leche. And let's get this party started as I need to pour more black coffee.
And I want to also remind those that are listening on Clubhouse, welcome. If you are in Clubhouse listening, we are dedicating Clubhouse Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you want to hear a rebroadcast, for those of you that are live with us on Facebook and YouTube, you can do that on Clubhouse. We would love to have you. Would love to have you join the club. Just to let the Clubhouse people know that this is just an audio. It is a rebroadcast. It is not it's not something that we can communicate with you. We don't bring people up onto the stage because it is just a broadcast of the show. However, we will in the very near future, like sometime towards the end of this month, we were going to begin doing more specific things on Clubhouse on the channel, which will be live and will involve interactions with our Clubhouse crew. So we appreciate those of you that are listening to just listen, and then you will have your moment to shine when we do other times live on Viva Cafe con Leche on the Clubhouse channel. So yes, good morning to who else came on? Marina Rivera, good morning. And who else? Tiffany, there's another Tiffany that came on. Where did she go? I saw her and I said it before. Janet Ramirez, good morning. Tiffany, it was on my Facebook. Let's see, we see Connie Gore Degase. Did I say it right? Oh my gosh, good morning. And there was Tiffany Bradley. Good morning. So we see there's a couple of new faces. Remember, everyone, to share. Those of you that are on, we know that our girl, Kathy Ruiz, is always sharing. So, and if Kathy could get up, because Kathy, right, you're in Texas. So if Kathy could get up and listen to us and share to her people, everybody can do it. So remember to share. So repost so that we can have people listening at the same time. Remember, we are building up our viewers. We're in our third season. We really want to make this blast. And it adds, the more people we have on, the more it adds to the tribe and more adds flavor to the tribe. So good morning. All right. So
Yes, did you talk about how excited we are this Thursday? Because if you did, it's my turn.
I just mentioned it. Go ahead. You could talk about.
We're so excited on this Thursday, St. Patrick's Day. It's the 17th. That's a good number in itself. It's good. The weather's going to be nice here in Connecticut. It's a quaint, little intimate setting. The way that the owner Jennifer has it, it's really inviting. It's really like if you go there to do some work, it's comfortable. And then just come spend an hour and a half with the badass Buddha and I. Carmen Nieves, for those who knows Carmen Nieves, there's only good things to say about her. She will be there with us as well. And I just think that it's good to get out, even it is for an hour and a half, 15 minutes to get there, an hour to spend, 15 minutes to get your ass home. Doesn't matter. The thing is, you got out, you're mingling with different people, and that's what makes the world go round, right? When we get out of our comfort zone, or we go and we somewhere where it's different and it's enjoyable and it's intimate and you can win prizes and then you get to sit with us. I mean, how much more do you want for a Thursday, St. Patrick's Day? And it's going to be awesome.
And God knows we need it. My goodness, how nice!
Yes, we do need it.
And it's going to be nice out too. That's the other thing. We need to get out. We need to socialize. So definitely it'll be a lot of fun. And this is the start of the Her Badass Story book tour. We're going to do another one at the end of the month in the central part of the state of Connecticut with 4 of the 9 authors, which is going to be a lot of fun. And then we're encouraging the other authors, because they live in different states, to do their own locally. So we have, somebody in Georgia, somebody in New Jersey, somebody in Massachusetts. And in addition to that, we're also gathering more authors for the next series. So Milagros is on, she's on board, she signed up. So Gladiator Guru and I will be doing volume 2. So if you want to share your story, if you know anyone else that wants to share their story, connect with me on my social media. And we have that day too, around 1:30, we have a call for authors Zoom session so that you can meet the publisher, you could meet me, and we can tell you about the book and what it entails and what you would need to do. So it's going to be a great call. We already have like 10 women signed up for the call, and we're limiting the spaces to 15 authors. So we already have 3 right now that have signed up, and actually 4. My sister decided to sign up. I forgot to say that. So my sister's actually going to do it. So there's 4 authors right there. So we don't have, we might go to up to 20. The more authors on, the more beefy it is. We had 9 the first time, but and it was still powerful, but the more stories that we can share, the more empowered you will become, because you'll be you'll be reading these and you'll be saying, if these women can get past that and they can change their lives and do some phenomenal stuff, then I can do it too.
Sí se puede. And I just think that's what we need to do. And Carmen, right, meet, greet, support, and engage. And that's what life is all about. So thank you for sharing that. And when we do gather, whether it's for poetry reading or it's a book reading or it's an art class, you're still gathering. You are meeting, greeting, supporting, and engaging in the wonderful spirits that reside amongst us. And that's what we need to remember, because that's what gives us the encouragement for our own dreams to go forward. So congratulations on your sister. And for those who are on that know Chanel is the next book tour.
Yes.
The next chain link leg of the book tour. So we're happy to have her. She's on vacation right now, living lovely. I've been seeing her pictures. So that's what we do. So if you are not sure about it, go on any of our social medias. It's on several times. I posted it like 3 times yesterday. Only because it's exciting. It's exciting, and I just think when we do gather, it opens up a lot for us. When we're driving home, we remember what we listened to, what we seen, what we heard, and then our doors start opening, whether we held them closed by fear or by thinking we couldn't, it wasn't time, that timing wasn't right. When we attend certain things like this, it does open many avenues for ourselves. We went in there not thinking about it. We're sitting there listening to everything, not thinking about it. But when we're driving away or we go home and we take our shower, then stuff's like, wait a minute, I kind of wanted to do this, or this is similar to what I was thinking. I guess it's not as hard. Get out of your own head. Come on, come listen to me talk. Bang, we're going to have a good time.
And you know what? I love that you said that. You're right. Because too, here's the thing. Sometimes it's one thing to hear us this way, like watch us, hear us this way. And for those of you that are local, like just get out of your routine a little bit. Even if you're going to work and then coming back, and don't complain, say, about the gas prices, because you're like, I don't want to drive any extra because of the gas. Okay, I get you on that one. But
carpool.
That's right. Carpool. Because listen, I got to tell you that even though, Gladiator Guru and I talk all the time, we're each other's coaches. We have conversations multiple times a week, and it's not just through the show. And even with that, you could still become complacent in your life. You can still get stuck in the mundane, the routine. Now, routines are great, because they help us move forward if the routine is a positive and constructive routine. But if it's just get up, do this, go here, go there, come back and go to sleep, what new things are going to happen to in your life if you are not doing anything differently, right? If you do the same thing over and over again, you're going to have the same outcome. And then you're going to go to bed going, nothing was new today. It was a miserable day. And I'm not happy and I want something different. And believe me, it sneak up on you too, because I've talked about this. We've talked about this. That's how 2021 was for me. I had become very complacent, even started to in the beginning of this year. And that's why that trip was really important for me to go on in February, because it set the stage. And so now it's like, sometimes you do get comfortable. You're like, I just got home from work, or I worked from home. I don't feel like going anywhere, but it's supposed to be nice out. So that there's no excuse about the weather. I get that. Sometimes it's cold, it's miserable. You don't want to go anywhere, but let's get out. Let's do something. And if you're not local to us, Kathy Ruiz brought it up. She's like, can you do like a live broadcast while we're doing it? Yes, we could set that up. Yeah. So for those of you that are not local to us, just put us on and put us in your ear. And if it's nice out where you live, just go for a walk while you're listening to the whole get together, or watching it as you're walking or doing something. So, break that cycle, make 2022 the year of really making shit happen. Expand our sister circle is so important. Yes. And I love that, because that's what the conversation is going to be today, is expanded consciousness, the whole for the whole week, today and Thursday.
What was the last thing you just said?
I don't remember.
Before you read the post.
I don't know. What did I say?
think, you know what? In anything that we choose to do, no matter how weather, I mean, we always use something as an excuse. Oh, it's raining. I just got my hair did. It's cold. It's hot. The gas. Well, how about we think about the gas for 1 minute? Yeah, gas is high, but so is milk. So is toothpaste. So is mayonnaise. My sister was telling me she spent almost $6 on a Hellman's mayonnaise, because that's what she buys. Everything's going up. We've known that since the pandemic, right? And they use that as an excuse to raise these prices. The lumber is ridiculous, right?
Yes.
But we still go and buy. That's why these big box stores that rape us daily are still in business, because we still go to these Walmarts, and we still go to Home Depots, and we get what we need. Same thing with gas. And I know, because when you're on the other side, but look at it from a different perspective. You are blessed enough to have the opportunity to pull up into that gas station. You pumped your gas. You might be broke now, but you got gas to get from point A to B. Let's stop the bitching and start accepting the blessings, no matter how small it is. Every time we complain, or we see these damn TikTok videos of people showing me how much they wasted on gas, that's like, that's negative energy, because it's like, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. Let's think about what we can do to improve our circle. What can we improve to generate a way that circle on its own, because of the positive energy, expands on its own, and expands and reaches the outer layers of where you are. And that's what we need to do as humans. Things are going to go up. Pretty soon things are going to go bam and boom. And what are we going to do? We're going to overcome it, like we've done with everything else in our past. It's upsetting. And it's sometimes it just sparks up a conversation, but don't let it rent a room in your space to where it's going to suck your energy.
And it's not
all that to say, carpool and come see us Thursday. I'm not going to be here long, right? And I would love to meet the people who can come, because this is my hometown. That's Bridgeport. I'm Bridgeport. Bridgeport is me. And I think that every time we hear, and I come here and Carmen makes a suggestion, I'm on it. Carmen is my angel on earth. Carmen Nieves. For those who know her, know what I'm talking about. Because this is my hometown. Bridgeport is my hometown. Every time I'm in Florida, I'm always talking about home. And they're like, oh, what part of Florida? I'm like, Bridgeport, Connecticut. So, and when I'm here and I talk about home, they're like, oh, when you got here from Florida, I said, this is home. So either way you look at it. So when I'm home, I love to see the people. I love to see the growth in my people. I like to share with my people. I think that everywhere, wherever we grew as a tree, the roots still remain. And the beauty of it is to make sure that the ground is always fertilized for everyone else in your hometown to grow and flourish. So every time we go out there and we speak, we're speaking vibrancy and energy into the people that we love. I don't need to know you. You're from Bridgeport, so we're familia. And when that happens, then you're doing your part. You're living part of your legacy. Every time you do return, if you've left, and you're making sure that that foundation is well watered and the soil is still treatable. And that's my part of giving energy and sharing love and sharing growth and vibrancy and enhancing everything is every time I come home to do something positive and to incorporate people from my area to come and feel that sí se puede. Sí se puede. Okay.
Good morning, Wanda Stover. My Southern Belle's in the house. Good morning to Iritza. She's in the house.
And my
I want to
sister
mention
Janet's on, right? I heard you.
Yep.
Oh, and Connie Gore, good morning.
Yep. So the other thing too is that Carmen, we talk about Carmen all the time. Carmen is such a creator. She's comes up with these ideas. She's a connector. She's a go person. Tells you like it is. Do this, do that. High recommendations of things. And Carmen was the one who came up with the idea for Viva Cafe con Leche. Carmen is always coming up with these fabulous ideas. And on top of it, she's always making sure that we make sure that it's a business, So with this, Carmen came up with the idea of doing the book tour, which we thought was absolutely fabulous. And this is how fabulous Carmen is. Okay. Carmen came up with the idea and she still bought a ticket.
Oh my God, I can't believe that.
How much she supports us. And she didn't even need to do that because as far as we were concerned, she created this. She's a special guest, right?
Mm-hmm. Her so special.
And that just shows you though, see, these are the individuals in our lives that, I took enough business courses to know that they always say, find your cheerleaders, find the people who support you the most and make sure that you stay near them and nurture them as well. That's why Carmen, we give it back to Carmen and we probably I don't even feel like I give it back enough as Carmen gives, but she's amazing at what she does. So definitely connect to Carmen, on social media, shout out to Carmen and tell her like how amazing she is because she helps so many women. That's what she does. That's what she does in her world. And we need more women like Carmen, and we need us in the tribe to be inspired by such women so that we pay it forward. That's our job, is to whatever we learn and we take in and we create within ourselves, that we spread it out to other people and we share it and we teach, because that's the only way we're going to get out of this freaking mess that we have right now. For those of us that are pissed off about the gas prices and complaining on TikTok, like Gladiator Guru was saying, we knew this was coming. That's the worst part. We knew this was coming. They've been saying for months that the inflation was going to hit, that the prices were going to go up. They kept saying it and saying it. It was all over the place. And lo and behold, it has happened. So we can't act surprised. And that's why it is important for us to talk about this topic today and Thursday: expanded consciousness. Expanded consciousness is a sense that one's mind has been opened to a new or larger kind of awareness associated particularly with mystical experiences, meditation, or even hallucinogenic drugs. You don't have to take hallucinogenic drugs, but we're talking about taking pause. Meditation is taking pause, closing your eyes, and freeing yourself of your limited mindset,
Yes.
your thoughts, your feelings, things that you've grown up with, and opening yourself up to something bigger and expanding your awareness. So when you open your eyes after you've closed them and you look around, you see things differently. You see more things. And with that, okay, so how do we expand consciousness? And then we're going to talk about this for the rest of the time. There are 4 practices that you could help raise your consciousness, okay? Awakening, wake the F up. Like we've talked about this, right? Become more aware of what is going on inside of you, inside of others, and around your world. Okay. So being more aware, awakening is being more aware. Living mindfully. Okay. We talk about mindfulness all the time. I teach mindfulness in workshops. Mindfulness, again, is a part of becoming aware. It's being present. It's being non-judgmental. It's being connected, but understanding being non-attached. I don't know where Gladiator Guru went, but hopefully she will be back on.
Yeah.
There she is. Okay. And then
Why am I not on? Oh,
you
I
have
got
to,
it.
there you
I
go.
got
Okay.
it.
And then being consciously paying attention to your thoughts and your feelings, setting intentions, okay, living an intentional life, and then being conscious. And we most of our day goes by, we live in our subconscious. We get into our routines, okay? And like I said, the routines could be great if they're healthy routines, but if they're bad routines, they can really, they can get us sick, they can get us miserable, and they can keep us stuck. Consciousness means that you have to become aware of this. You have to notice what you're doing and then make the change. And it can be exhausting. There is a reason why we live a very subconscious life. There's a reason why it's like 80% of the time we're in 85%. Actually, it's something like 95%, but I don't know. I argue with this sometimes. 95. So I'd say 80 to 95% of the time we're in the subconscious mind. Like we're just running on the program. But if to be conscious is exhausting, that means you have to be paying attention. And that's why some people don't like to do it, because it's just so much easier to not think about stuff, to just do. But if what you're doing is not getting you anywhere, if you're running around in a circle, the only way you're going to get out of the circle is to be aware that you're in the circle and then say, well, okay, instead of going left, I have to take a right, and that's going to get me out of that circle.
Okay. What did you say prior to that? You said people don't want to think enough about it. That's why what did you say?
Yeah, that people don't want, when we don't want to think that much during the day, because consciousness requires us to be like literally using our brain and thinking and being aware at any given time and processing things. So we don't want to do that. So that's why it's just easier to succumb to the subconscious routine, because it's less energy. We expend less energy being in the subconscious mind. We use more energy being conscious, and we're exhausted. We're an exhausted group of people.
And I think we become more exhausted because we add fear to it. We're constantly in an argument with what we bully ourselves in these arguments about whether we can or cannot do it. So then people just give up, right? Is that what you're saying? They don't want to be in that state of lo hago, no lo hago. So it's like, am I going to do it? Am I not going to do it? Should I do it? That's too much work. What's a better way, badass, that they can do something similar to what they want to do like that without really exhausting themselves? Like if someone new is coming into this thing that we're talking about today, but they really haven't put their best efforts in the past. Everything let's just say someone that's easy breezy. They married the perfect man. So they really don't have to worry about balancing the checkbook every month to pay the bills and all of that stuff. And now they have to. Now they want to now they're taking the leap of faith to open their business. Now they got to sit down and figure this shit out. How would you suggest they start without really becoming overwhelmed? Like going from A to W, like in a heartbeat, and now they're like, I can't do this. And that's where a lot of people fail to succeed in their own goals and plans. Right?
Clarity. First off, it starts with clarity, knowing what you want. And you have to write this down and take steps. You don't write it all in one shot. You think about it, you take steps, but you have to be clear. So you come to a conclusion of what it is that you want, and you have to be still. You have to sit there and think about it. And you have to say to yourself, okay, I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to take a moment for myself. It could be out of your house, go sit somewhere, or it could be in your house, but then start writing it. It's just that expression that you said, if you think it, ink it, then you believe it
and you'll achieve
it. And so you write it down first, and then you take each piece, and then you think, okay, what can I change today? What can I start to change today? And take smaller steps. And when you're ready to take bigger steps, you can either take them or you can get assistance, like working with a coach, having a mentor, having a friend, an accountability partner. It could be, you don't have to spend the money. You can just get an accountability partner to say, this is the change. These are the changes I want to make in my life. I need you to hold me accountable to it. And you got to pick somebody who's willing to be like strong for you. And I got to go take my kid out to the, so you keep talking about the idea of the expanded consciousness.
Okay. Okay. Whew. There's also like different levels that you can take. You know, we weren't taught this. I wasn't taught this growing up. And this is something you have to want to learn. If you choose to learn it, then write what you need to write. And every day, read up on it. Spend an hour on it. Anything that's going to be of benefit to you and yours is worth your time. You know, just like I'm going to watch one episode and then I'm going to get up and do this. And before you know it, you're done with season 1 and Netflix has held you hostage. Been there, done that. You know, that was my escape during my seasonal sadness after mom died. You know, my K-dramas, absolutely love them. They're innocent. What does that do to you? Every time being a molestation and rape survivor, that like clenches you. You expand by realizing that not everybody's out to hurt you. Not everybody's going to hurt you. There's good love. There's good lust. There is, trust me. You know, and there's good you. So everywhere you are, you expand yourself knowing that your mind can be open to a different, a healthy, larger kind of awareness because you are propelling it. So again, that goes back to the cultivation of self-trust. Do I love myself enough to trust myself? Am I feeding my spirit enough kindness and gratitude to understand the cultivation of self-trust? I don't trust nobody. You know why? Because deep down, I don't trust myself to improve myself. That's something we got to keep at the forefront because why, if you can't trust anyone around you, you know, really, that the burden that we're taking on by saying that is so immense that how can your mind open up to a larger, more kinder, a more prosperous awareness if you're too busy worrying about everyone else around you? If you hear yourself saying that, then you got to stop. And you got to say, what is it within me that I need to start taking notice of? Where does the cultivation of my botanical garden start? And that's what we got to remind ourselves. There's all steps to all this expanded awareness that we all need to be familiar with because it, especially in 2022, I remember a time in my life when life was simple, yet we still complain. But that's humanity, right? But it was simple. Today, we're living in such an uncertain world that we are not expanding our consciousness because it's easier to just focus on, oh my God, what am I going to cook to dinner? I got to go to the grocery store. And you continue your routine now with less complaint because it's safer. You don't want to hear the news. You don't want to know what's going on in the world. You don't want to be awakened to the possibilities of things. So I tell you, there's nothing wrong with that. Take this time of such uncertainty that you start fearing even going out, then don't put attention to the fear, put attention on you. Then this is the universe saying you need to wake up that expanded consciousness. You need to start working on certain things about you so that when it does get a little more hectic out in the world, you're going to have a better handle on it and you're going to know how to maneuver because you have built such an awakened consciousness within you. You have built a trusting relationship with yourself that you're going to be able to say, this is going to freak me out. But in order to get from here to there and protect what's mine, I have to take this journey. and expand it. So there's 5 levels, right? One, what I was talking about, it's the survival consciousness. And we can go into it, but I'm just going to read. 2 is the relationship consciousness. And you know what? Across the board, I've always heard this. And then you know why I love the movie Eat, Pray, Love and the book? Because in the beginning she talks about a friend who worked in a refugee camps, and that she met these women from all different backgrounds coming to the camps, the refugee camps here in the States. And that no matter what they went through, they lost everything. Some of them came with no shoes on, not the appropriate clothing for the climate. But when they sat down, all they talked about was love. The people they left behind. Will I ever see him again? Oh, I started this journey and he left me for someone else, but I love him. It all goes to different things. So we're always stuck on relationship consciousness. And not that I'm saying it's a bad thing, but you need to balance it out with the survival one. And then you have the self-esteem consciousness. That's 3. 4 is the transformation consciousness. 5 is the internal cohesive. Okay? Internal cohesive. A lot of people don't like to hear about this because then they got to work at it. Exactly what the badass Buddha says. But you know what? That is so true. People don't want to. They'd rather pretend they're ignorant, or they rather pretend that they don't like being around certain people because they talk a lot of shit. But the reality is that they're talking reality and they're just not ready to hear it. So they stay in this bubble of what they can handle instead of the reality of what's happening around them. So when you expand your consciousness, you're really open to have like an owl perspective. El búho that sits there and spins his head all around and can see everything around and then sit still, and then you can analyze. Well, we don't have that gift. So how's a better way? I was reading that the expanded. Hold on. So I wanted to do, I don't know what number I was at. 5. Internal cohesiveness.
Yeah, I was listening.
So internal cohesiveness. What are the positive values in that? And I like that one. Internal cohesiveness. Like, I like the way it rolls off my tongue. So what does it say? It's honesty, it's trust, it's creativity, integrity, authenticity, meaning, internal alignment, right? Hola, Melissa. So I don't know why I picked that, but that was number 5. It's self-actualization. And before you can do relationships and putting the mask on someone else's face on that thing, you really got the self-actualization one. It's really something that we have to have a grasp on, to really fully understand who the hell we are, what are our capabilities, and how far we're willing to go to expand the consciousness, not only from us, but let it beam out in such a positive rays of energy that others around us can relax out of the fear and take action into living how we should be living. All right, your turn.
Well, and did you go over what self-actualization is? Because some people don't even really know what that is.
I thought you did in the beginning. I mentioned it about, I mentioned it as I went on.
So self-actualization, I mean, it's about you understanding your own abilities.
Yeah.
That's partially where it starts, is that we don't even think that we're capable of doing the stuff that we're doing. And I was just watching, before we came on, I had the Weather Channel on. That's pretty much the only news I ever watch. And they had this young girl on there. I wrote her name down.
Big Gwen.
And she was a she's young. She's not, I got to look her up to see exactly her age, but I would say she's not more than 30. But she decided to become an adventurer an explorer, because she decided that I don't want to be like living here like just sitting around doing nothing. I want to live my life. She's also become very aware of the environment and the things happening in the world. And so she's, I think she sounded Australian. And here she was, she just started to travel, and she started to she started off with the typical exploration, and then she moved on to the broader exploration, the real crazy stuff. And she said that in the beginning, her parents just thought, they said to her, how much longer are you going to be doing this? Like, and they figured it was just like a hobby. And she was blogging it. She had her social media blogs. She has a lot of followers, an incredible amount of followers, and she would show all these places. And she said, and after a couple of years of this, she goes, I think my family is starting to realize that this is not a hobby. Like she said to them, this is not a hobby. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to live my life. And she said, I think my family finally understood that this is how I want to live my life. And what I'm doing is sharing it with other people, inspiring them to do that. And obviously, where's the money coming from? She's making money. She has so many followers. She's able to do that. She's become an influencer. And her message is live your life. The material things don't matter. It doesn't matter how much crap you have in your house. A lot of times too, if we're going to expand our consciousness, the crap that we have in our house is usually the way that we create shelter to prevent ourselves from living in the outside world. Like we just bring more and more stuff in to keep us like sheltered. Yep. So it's like creating a fortress of fear and not wanting to go out, and then using that as an excuse why you can't. So I went and visited, I went to pick up Gladiator Guru yesterday and saw my sister, Janet, and she's my sister too. And so they have a beautiful new house. And I said to Gladiator Guru, I said, it was the house, first of all, is so beautiful. They did such a great job picking a house, but the space is so nice, and it's empty, and it's just enough, like just enough furniture, and it's so comfortable. And when I walk into spaces like that, I love it. My space we are kind of crowded. And I've been purging. That's the funny part. I've been purging, and there's still too much stuff. We're in a very small space. So I look at that and I say, when I'm in a space like that, I feel expanded. Here's the interesting thing. I feel that I could expand my consciousness more being in a beautiful space such as that, where it's open. I feel like I can flow better. And when I'm in the crowded space, I cannot flow. So there's my awareness. My awareness is that I feel limitations based on my environment. And I have felt limitations based on my environment for a long time for a lot of reasons. So the expanded consciousness piece comes into an awareness of, okay, what is getting in my way? What is it that I really want to do? Am I a homebody? Do I really like staying at home? Okay. If you do, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no judgment here on that. That's you. If you really legitimately say, I really love being home. I have a client who says, I love being home. Like I love my house. I love my property. I love the gardens. But if you say, I love being home, but if there's a but in there, but I don't really like the house, or I don't really like the yard, or I wish this was this, there's a problem, and it's going to cause you to stay stuck. So expand your consciousness. If you like being home and you say, but, then what can you do about the but? As Pee Wee Herman said in Pee Wee's Big Adventure, everyone I know has a big butt. Yes. Everyone I know has a big butt. So if your butt is, well, I love my yard, but it's not that pretty, or I wish I could have more flowers, or I wish I could grow a garden, then do it. Right? My yard, I love the yard. That's the one part, is though I can't wait for the winter weather to come out, because that is my expansion. I love being outside. We have a lot of flowers. We plant gardens, like vegetables. Yes. And I sit outside on the deck, and it's beautiful. I have multiple places that I could sit, and I love it. So in order for that, I had to create that, though. If you saw what the yard looked like before, it would have been like, bleh. So you decide what is going to allow you to give yourself that sacred space on the outside to allow for the sacred space on the inside. And that is how we start expanding
Yes.
our consciousness. Thinking outside the box. What are the possibilities? When I went away to Costa Rica, I stepped into something, and it was a good something. It wasn't a bad something, but I stepped into something that got me to realize that I was expanding myself for 2022, but then I expanded myself even more because I discovered things that I didn't even consider because I went away, because I got out of my current environment. And all of a sudden I started seeing things a little differently. I started looking into bigger and better possibilities. And to top it off, I was around good people like my sister who fueled it to say, yes, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Is that what you're talking about? Yes, you can. And that's the other piece. The awareness is also to be aware of your surroundings in the sense of your environment and who you are hanging out with. You are only what is the expression? You are only as good as the best person that you hang out with. If you hang out with people who are negative, you will be negative. Even if you tote yourself as being the most positive of your friends, that is not a good thing, my friend. Being the positive, being the smartest, being the wealthiest of your group is not challenging you. You have to, not saying to drop the group, only if they don't if they don't connect with you anymore, if they're not inspiring you anymore. But you could find another group too that's going to challenge you for more. So if you are stagnant, that's part of the problem. Part of the problem of stagnation is the fact that we are staying with stagnant people, stagnant situations. You've got to get out of it. And I'm dropping the mic. Go ahead, Gladiator Guru. What else you got? You're muted, my love.
There's so many quotes on the expanded consciousness. Some will pertain to you, others not. They also speak a lot about the spirituality of separating yourself from like what's happening around you. And it is a spiritual awakening as well. A lot of people are afraid of that word. But it's like, what she was saying, what the badass Buddha was saying, it's so true because we separate ourselves. We separate ourselves from what's going on, and then it's easier to just stay where we know we don't need to be. That's the fear, right? So
and it's easy.
It
and
is.
it's less energy.
There's
You
no
expend
energy
less
being
energy.
used, and you're feeding your fear instead of feeding your spirit. So we are here as spirits, and we need to awaken from this illusion that life should be simple or that things shouldn't be scary. And so we need to be separated from the illusion that we created of safety. It's just enough, and I can live with just enough. I'll be a minimalist, and you're shortchanging yourself. And then what does that then start rooting in you? Jealousy, insecurities, judgments, all of that, because you are placing yourself at the bottom step where you could have jogged up to the top several times. So we're here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. And that's a quote from, I can't even say his name, THICH HANH. I don't want to mess up his name.
THICH. Oh, thick, not tan.
Han. Yeah. And
thick,
I've always loved that because it is true. Once we stop the blame game, right? And we start being aware of who we are, then we expand our own consciousness. Take that little fear factor out of it and say, what? Let me see what I'm capable of doing. Step one, I'm gonna allow myself to think about it. Take a day, take a fucking week, but do it. Just think about it. Let it dance across your thoughts so much that the pitter-patter of those footsteps dancing back and forth in full bloom, it starts doing something. It starts like sending those little goosebumps down your body and like, ooh, what's that? Because you're awakening. And then, then write it. And then start breathing it and start living it. And if you got to do it in steps, my step will not be your step. but it's a step towards the expanded consciousness, which
Yes.
is you connect with your spirit. All these people out there with the 7 chakras, paying all this money to buy. You know how many people I know own like several different chakra books and crystal books, and they're
Yep.
sitting somewhere collecting dust. They
Yes.
haven't even read it, but because they took the step in buying it, they felt they were doing something,
Yes.
knowing damn well they were just
And
gonna
I'm
throw it
guilty.
out the show.
I'm even guilty of that myself. I've done it myself where I bought something and said, oh, I'll buy it. I've even read it and then still did nothing with it. So either way, like I bought it and it sat there, or I bought it and read it. So yes, you are so spot on with that.
And we need to stop sabotaging our own lives and blaming everyone around us.
Mm-hmm.
Stop blaming your significant other or your child's busy schedule with sports and school and whatever.
Or your parents.
Stop blaming everybody and look in the mirror and tighten up, because this is your expanded consciousness. And the people you love around you who have followed in your negative footsteps, guess what? When you start it, it's going to trickle. The energy's going to shift so big in your home that they're going to start looking at you with different color lenses. They're going to be like, wow, mom's changing. And some might be like, what the hell's happening to her? What's wrong with you? People don't like change either. Your significant other.
Maritza, that's beautiful. Maritza wrote, Spirit sends me to you guys each and every time. God answers my prayers. Amazing self-actualization defined at its best. Maritza, you are just, we're honored that you're here. So good morning,
Yes.
Maritza. We love having you on the show, and we love having every one of you, because you're just reminding each other with your comments that you make and what we're saying, and then what your thoughts are on it. It's creating this circle of, as Carmen had said before, we're creating this circle of consciousness together.
Yes.
And we're here to help you. So when you say, as Guru was talking about, when you're saying things like, well, it's his fault, like I'm this way because he did this to me. Listen, I could completely understand that expression, and I can blame the way my life is and the thoughts in my head and my actions and non-actions. I can completely blame it on other people. I have, there's a point where I have every right to, with some of the shit that has happened to me, especially with my 2 marriages. But in the end, okay, because being lied to for years, you could say, well, that person did this to me. That person did this to me. They did. But I allowed it. And if somebody says, well, how did you allow it? If you knew, well, I knew with the first one. The second one, I have to admit, I didn't know for 14 years I was being lied to. But when I look back, there were signs, and I chose not to see them. And I knew I chose not to see them because when they would come up, I would be like, I would talk myself out of it. And so, but even still, even the ones that I didn't know, like I really was being duped. Okay. It's past, it's done. All I can say now is, okay, that's what happened. And I am who I am now as a result of it. And I can no longer give the fuel or give the energy to the individual who did this, because it's on me now. If I'm sitting there saying, well, it's his fault, then I just stay stuck and I'm not taking accountability. Now I just have to say, okay, well, what did I learn and where am I going? Because this has sent me into a trajectory that I didn't even expect. And I'm damn grateful for it, because I love the person that I am now. I did not like the person that I was in both of those marriages. And the thing is that I was miserable. So the awareness came to me enough to say, okay, well, what do I need to change about myself? What do I need to do to go forward? How am I expanding my consciousness and thinking outside the box? And when I get stuck, I have Gladiator Guru, I have tribe members, I have other friends to remind me. I have my sister to remind me of my potential, because we are always our worst enemies. This is where we collapse our consciousness. We believe that we don't deserve it. We believe that we're not good enough. We believe that it's not possible. Listen, I was talking about that girl that's traveling, right? Of course, when you're in your 20s, your brain actually is not even fully developed yet. So that's why you are a risk taker. Your prefrontal cortex, which is in charge of that, right in the front of right behind your forehead, is in charge of those things. So they are risk takers. They're known to be that. But why does it have to change when we get older? Why do we become so complacent? Why do we become so safe? Why does fear become such a big factor in our lives?
Because we get lazy. Because we get lazy.
Part of it, yeah.
We get lazy. And then we always want something to blame. And you're absolutely right. And I love what you said. Because the red flags are always there. And we choose not to. And sometimes there's 50 red flags and one green flag. And because that's what we need to see, we only focus on that one green flag that maybe he lifts the seat when he takes a piss. That's the only green flag in the whole thing, right? Okay.
Oh my God, you're so right. It is. You look at the good things and you're not. And here's the funny part. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm seeing the visual and the green flag. Sometimes there's more than one green flag, but the green flag's like this big. It's like so small. And the red flags are like the biggest fucking flag you've ever seen. And it's flying around, and all you see is between them. You're like
you're searching.
Oh wait, there's a little green flag. No, we're good. We're good. Oh my God, I love the visual on that.
But it's true. And instead of us discovering those green flags within ourselves, we blame it. And I heard what you said, and it's absolutely. And to expand, it's to be unapologetically courageous.
Yes.
To expand your consciousness at any age means you are claiming responsibility. The only person in this world that you have a claim on, and that's yourself. Everything I've been through, I've never once questioned God or blamed God. If anything, I always said, thank you, God, for getting me out of it. And to this day, sometimes when you get triggers and you remember stuff from your past. Now, remember, a trigger, when people say trigger, what do we automatically think? That it's a negative memory. Triggers, sense, taste. Triggers is just a trigger. It's invoking something. It's awakening something. It doesn't have to necessarily.
Thank you for reminding us of that.
Negative. And a lot of people take that as, oh, she had a trigger. Yeah, I did have a trigger, and I'm just happy right now. And you know what? It's just we're taking words, and I think since COVID, they created all these new words, and they're using our comfort words, and they're putting a twist on it to add, I guess, all these other new ones. I don't know, but stay true to what you know and what you feel. And I will listen to a song, which one of them was really big for me. And that song, when I finally sat down 20 something years later and had no choice but to listen to it, I was like, God was giving me a message at 14. And I thought it was a negative trigger. Every time I even heard the beat of that song come on, that I would change it or leave. And now I had no choice, and I listened to it. And it was so empowering. So we got to stop self-sabotaging. We got to stop thinking we know what's best. When you expand your consciousness, then sit with yourself and write a pros and cons list. Or what do I think I'm good at? And then ask somebody, have a game night with your friends, and have a what I think I'm good at game. And then they're going to say, what are you talking about? Where do you go in your head when you think you're good at that? You suck at cooking. And nobody has a problem telling me that. And I'm so happy, because that's an expectation they do not have of me. But, all that to say, stop blaming everything around you and start looking within, because all the answers are within. Your expanded consciousness is within you, whether you're 20 or 53. This is my favorite age. This second half of my life is going to be the most amazing part of my life. And I've claimed that. And that's where I'm going with it. So you got to decide what it is you want and stop. You know what? If you got to put blinders on while you're discovering this expanded consciousness, put the damn blinders on and only focus on you. You are the star of this show. You're winning the Tony, the Emmy, what are all of the the awards that they have. You be a Rita Moreno and win every
Grammy.
single fucking award that's been out there, and earn it for yourself and celebrate it for yourself and put it on like an armor that's not going to allow anything else to pierce you with a negative connotation, because you have taken value in who you are by taking the time out to learn the expanded consciousness of your spirit to maintain your body being strong and carrying you wherever it is you have to be. That's your job. That's not my job. I have enough on my plate with my 4 personalities.
Yes, that's
And
right.
And we're navigating this journey very well. We have bumps. There's some potholes. But other than that, nobody wants to jump ship. We're all in it together.
Yeah, look at Maritza. I already started celebrating my sensual 60s.
Oh, I love that.
And you are, baby girl, you are a very sexy lady. And I have to see your ID because I don't believe you're in your
Yes.
60s.
Well, guess what? Maritza Figueroa, we will be in Dubai together in September.
Oh, that's
going to be freaking amazing.
So I just want to make note that we did not start our show today by setting our intention and doing our mantra. So we're going to end it that way. And just a reminder that we do have our book tour starts this Thursday. So go onto the social media pages for Viva Cafe con Leche, buy your ticket. We'll see you there. Anybody who's interested in becoming an author on the next book, I have that call coming up this Thursday. It's on Zoom. If you cannot make it, just reach out to me. Tell me that you're interested and we can have a separate conversation. And I think we're going to record it. So I could always just send you the recording because we're going to make this even bigger. We were international bestseller in November and we're going to make volume 2 even bigger. We were international bestseller in 3 countries. So we're going to go for even more. And I guess that's all we need to say for now, so let's set our intention. Our intention for today, as is every day, our intention is to be intentional and
grateful. Live in gratitude for who you are.
Yes. And our mantra, get ready to say it loud and proud. Are you ready, everyone?
Let's do this.
I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I said it out of order. I am unapologetically courageous.
Unapologetically courageous.
I am magically orgasmic.
Ole!
And I am beyond authentic.
And I keep it as real as I can. As real as I am.
So join us on Thursday to continue this conversation on expanded consciousness with Ilona Lopati. I butchered her name, I'm sure, but she's very exotic from our Albanian guest, fabulous lady. And for those of you that are listening in Clubhouse, again, we're happy that you are here. It is audio only, but we will open up on other days to have engagement with our Clubhouse crew. So thank you. And everyone remember to like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this video. It's great. It's fabulous. And we thank you, our tribe, for being here today. Any last minute, Margarita?
Yes. And La Margarita. It's great tongue exercise when you say my name.
Absolutely.
Margarita. Yes. And remember this Thursday, I would love to see a packed house. And what is it? Meet, greet, support, and engage. Wise words from Carmen Nieves, but it does explain everything for Thursday. And that's our next event. So it's like highlighted. Remember, mi gente.
Oh, my thing?
Yeah.
It's my thing. Okay. Remember, we'll see you Thursday. And from the Badass Buddha, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, remember, mi gente, to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste.
Love you, everybody.